Hey guys, welcome back for another review. So I finally got my hands on the new Olive and June summer collection. They were sending them to me. They've changed a lot of things with their ambassador program, so I had to get it. There was confusion about my address. I don't know, I think it came somewhere else and to my old address and then they took it back. I don't even know. But a month later, I finally have it. So sorry about that. I was planning on reviewing it the entire time. I was a little bit slow because I thought they were sending it to me, then they weren't. So that's what all the delays were. This is a camp themed collection, which I find really fun. I find the collection colors to be really cohesive and great. I have quite a few comparisons coming up for you guys today. It's available now. Obviously, it's been available for a while. I turned my light down a little bit because it was a little bit bright. Anyway, just so you guys know, I do have a coupon code for first-time customers to buy a mani or pedi system, and my code has changed. It's a little bit different. So it's OJ Gold Polish 20, and that gives you 20% off of that. I use everything in their mani kit. I would really suggest it. I think it's great. I think it's a great way to get all the tools that you need, especially if you're just starting out and getting into nails. It kind of just sets you up. Okay, so there are 7 polishes in this collection. They're all creams except for one, which is a fun round confetti polish, which I actually really love. So let's talk about them. So this first one is this beautiful mint green. It's a good balance of mint and green, and it's beautiful bright mint green. The formula on some of these are kind of thin. A handful of them are going to take quite a few layers to build up. This one, I think it's going to be 3 to 4 coats probably to get it opaque. And one thing I want to say about Olive and June, and I find this about Essie Gel Couture as well, but you do have to wait a bit longer in between coats before you apply the next one. And especially these ones that are a little bit more sheer, I find that you have to wait even longer. So that does make drying time quite long. If you don't, they do get kind of thick in some areas and then it can drag and pull and just not be good. So you want to make sure it's completely dry before going in with that second or third or 4th coat. Anyway, but they do have long lasting power. This one is a beautiful color though. Did find it kind of annoying that I had to wait so long though. That was just a little too much for me, this one. Especially since you'll see here in the comparisons that I have that it's really close to some Essie polishes that I know you guys love. Okay, so let's talk about those. So I compared it to KMC, and that one's an Olive and June polish that's more of a softer mint. It's more jade leaning, but it has that same thinner formula, just so that you're aware. And then Mint Candy Apple, the current version, is almost exact. It's maybe a touch darker, and that one has a much better formula. So honestly, in my opinion, I would stick with that one. It won't give you that kind of curly look, but you add that top coat and it adds a little bit of depth, and that polish honestly doesn't even need depth. It's beautiful and amazing. So especially with that new brush, I picked up a new bottle of this. I've talked about it on Instagram, and it's just much more improved and it's just amazing. I'm going to be wearing it this summer for sure. And then Empowerment is pretty much exact. I would say it is a little bit darker too. It's kind of in between Sleeping Bag and Mint Candy Apple, but it also has kind of a thinner formula, but it does build up better than Sleeping Bag. So out of all those, I think my favorite is going to be Mint Candy Apple, but if you're an Olive and June lover and you want something that's the same color as Mint Candy Apple, then this is the one to get. And then we have Counselor in Training. I think these names are really cute. I really love these kind of tangerine orange polishes. It's bright pastel orange and kind of peachy shade because it has quite a bit of white in the base as well. This one does have that same thin formula. We wanted it to build up a little bit better, but it's going to take at least 3 coats for this one. And depending on how you apply it, you might need 4. I don't know. I got away with 3 pretty good. And sometimes I even thought I could get away with 2, but when it dried down, I did have to add another layer. I think I only did 2 coats for my live swatch, so just keep that in mind. You might have to do 3. I love these kind of shades. China Glaze has one pretty much exact to this, and the formulas are actually very similar too. I feel like China Glaze maybe builds up just a little bit better, but I've talked about this polish last year. It was from their spring collection last year. Let's look at those comparisons here. So I've got Tangerine Heat, that's exact in color. I love both of these. And then All or Nothing is like a softer muted orange color, and then Filling Wellies is a brighter lighter color. If you still haven't gotten that polish, please get it. It is amazing. I'll probably pull it out again this summer. I packed it in my bag to take on my trip that I'm going on. So we'll see which ones I pull out. And here's some other comparisons that I want to talk about real quickly. They're not exactly the same at all, but I thought it might be helpful to see what Olive and June has in their line that's kind of close that you might think, but it's really not. So BI is more peachy, CS is light pinky coral, and then Sweet and Gracious is more yellow toned, more orange, and so they're not close at all, but I just wanted to throw that up really quick so you could see it. Well, I really did like this one. I love these kind of colors for summer and spring, and it's just beautiful. And then we have this pinky with a little bit of peach, kind of corally pastel shade. I don't know how to explain these. This one's called Penpal. Did I say that? There's a lot of companies that have polishes like this, especially Essie, and it's kind of fun for Olive and June to have one. I really do love it. It does have that same thinner formula though, just so you're aware. You're probably gonna have to do 3 coats. You're gonna have to let it dry in between, so it is gonna be a little bit more time consuming. So you're gonna need 3 coats in this. So there are some other ones that I would choose over this, but I do think it's beautiful, especially if you love Olive and June. You're gonna like this color. Okay, so let's talk about those comparisons. So I compared it to Peachside Babe. That one's more of a darker coral, and then Beachy King is lighter but the same kind of color tone, and then Vandigo is closer than Beachy King but still a little bit lighter. Like I always say, you can decide which one you want to get. I think this is beautiful shade though. I love shades like this. And then we have this beautiful color called Green Canteen, and I love the name. It's this beautiful turquoise color that's a little bit more green leaning, and I love shades like that. This is where the formulas get a little better. So this is going to be opaque in 2 coats. It builds up very nice. It's kind of crelly, but not as crelly as the other ones that we just talked about. It's a more buildable crelly. I love polishes like that though, because they have a really nice glossy finish when you're done, and they build up nice in a couple coats. I did have a wonky brush with this one or the blue one I'm going to talk about next. I can't remember, but I was like, oh, that brush is a little bit wonky. I find that they sometimes are a little inconsistent with their brushes, but I've noticed that much more this go around than I have past. This one is just a beautiful shade and with a good formula. So let's talk about those comparisons, because I did find one that was like super close to this, if not exact. That one is right here. It's I'm on a Sushi Roll from OPI. I love that polish, so obviously I like this one too, and it's pretty much a dupe. Essie Bustling Bazaar is brighter. I love this one. I packed this one in my bag too to go after doing these comparisons, because I was like, oh, I was gonna wear that this summer and pull it out, and so I have that in my bag. But that one's really beautiful, but not the same. And then OPI Susie Sand Climbs something. I put ... because I didn't want to write it out, but you'll see it on the screen. That one has more blue undertones. So I do like this one. They don't really have a color like this in their collection. They have a lot of blues, but nothing that's more of a turquoisey one, unless I'm forgetting something. If I am, remind me and I'll try to show it on Instagram. But I liked this one. This is a beautiful blue. It's called Blue Canoe, which is super cute. And I love these kind of blues. This is a mid-tone blue, but it has a touch of purple in it. It's got a beautiful formula. Like I said, I think this was the brush that was wonky, but it built up really nice in 2 coats even with the wonky brush. And I just had to be a little more careful with my application, but it was fine. I'm not too picky about brushes, actually. I can work around them. And anyway, I thought this was going to be exact to one of my favorite polishes, Essie Pret a Surfer. Oh, that is such a good one, but I'll show you those comparisons right now. So we've got CNH, which is Olive and June, and it's more purple. And then I have Pret a Surfer. That one's close, but it's maybe a touch more purple. And the formula on that is just a dream, you guys. That is just such a good polish. It's an oldie. I think you can still get it. Pick that one up for sure. And then Flare for Fun is lighter and more of a dustier shade, but those were the closest that I found that I pulled out. A lot of other blues are maybe more warmer or more purple or more navy. And so I did find this one to be a little bit different and unique, but similar to Essie Pret a Surfer. And I like that one best, but love this one too. Then we have this beautiful darker coral called Fill Day, and it's pretty much just along the same lines as this one as I showed, Penpal, but it's just a little bit darker. And I like these. This is kind of like a nice mid-tone coral, and it has a beautiful formula as well. It's going to build up nicely in 2 coats. I wish the first ones were kind of similar to the formulas in these, because these were actually really good. So like the last 3 that I've talked about and all the ones in the beginning have that thinner formula. But anyway, let's talk about the comparisons for this one. We've got Cute as a Button. That's a little more pink. Love that one. I wish they'd come out with a new one with a new brush. I've been hunting for one, but I don't seem to find any. And then Live Love Carnival. It's almost exact. That one's maybe even a touch more red, but it's just so close, and I love love that polish from OPI. I haven't worn that one for a while, so I love both of these. And then Handmade with Love, which is also a great one, is even maybe a little more red. And so I do think Live Love Carnival is a dupe for this one. So if you like that one from OPI and you've switched to Olive and June, or you want Olive and June, this is a good one to get for that. So it's good. I need to come up with new things to say about polishes. I love them. It's beautiful. It's good. I swear you guys are going to get sick of it. Okay, so then we have this beautiful polish called Sprinkle Cookie, and I love the name. I think it's so cute. I didn't think I'd like this one when I first saw it. I was like, but then when I put it on, I'm like, oh, it's actually kind of fun. Especially if you're a little bit younger, but it's okay if you're older and you like it too. It's just not my thing. I don't know that I would ever wear this, but I can see my daughter wearing it. It might be fun for like a birthday or something, but you kind of have to place those on there. You'll see me kind of awkwardly doing that on my nail and trying to spread them out. It has these circle round confetti pieces, and some of them are a little bit metallic and reflective. And it just so happened that when I was doing my live swatch that one of them has like a little chunk out of it, which was kind of annoying, but I just went with it anyway. But as I'm looking at the bottle, I don't see any that are like have little bites out of them like that. I think just by chance I got that one on my live swatch. Kind of fun. I like it. My daughter loved it. She instantly grabbed it and wanted to put it on her nails. So I think this one is super original and super fun. I didn't do any comparisons for this, obviously, because I don't have anything like this. So I'm going to pick these three for my favorites. This beautiful blue Canoe. I'm going to pick Field Day and Counselor in Training. The orange, I just love all these. I do like this kind of mid-tone. There's a lot of these coral polishes that are lighter or darker, and I find like this is kind of in between. And then I love these kind of purple leaning blues, and I love this shade. Even though it's the same as China Glaze, I would wear either of them, but I do love all of these. Which ones are your favorites? Did you get any? You've probably already got them. It's probably a waste of time for me to get this review anyway, but I'm just doing it because I really wanted it up. But let me know if you're going to pick any up, and if you do, make sure you use my code. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next review. Okay, bye.